No.
I can hear you. Hello?
Hello?
We can hear you.
It's no good if you can't hear us, though, is it?
Yeah.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah. I turned on the speaker.
That helps.
It's 3 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's,
Wow.
so I'm not.
Where are
I'm
you?
not really. Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Welcome to England at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not surprised.
Would you like an open mic slot?
Oh, I'd love one. That would be
Okay.
great. Thank you. Yeah,
Putting
that's
it
good.
down.
Are you likely?
I might-
Are you likely to be rushing off early, or are you going to stay for the duration?
No. I might rush off and get a drink of water though.
That's fine.
Well, you've got about quarter of an hour before we start, so
No.
you can just...
No, that's all right. Plenty of time. I'll just grab a drink of water. Be back in a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. You can put him on at 8:25.
Yeah, I could actually. I've put him in as a reserve after 8 o'clock, but I might change that. I'll see how it goes.
Right, he's from right alongside him. He's from Australia.
Yes, I know. I've got it.
So
You can mute him if you need to. You remember the participants bit?
Huh?
Do you remember? Pardon?
I've got the group chat and the participants. I'm on it.
Right. Okay.
Well, that's good. Somebody from Australia.
Lovely. Yeah.
Just need everybody else to turn up now.
It's very early still. Oh, no, it's not that early, is it? 10 minutes before the start.
It's a very easy system.
I think it is once you know what you're doing.
I just avoided it, but actually it's a piece of cake.
You don't need anybody
Something
now.
goes wrong.
Don't tempt Providence.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
You can go back to sleep for 10 minutes if you like.
10 minutes.
You got to
Oh, well, I could almost do that, you know. No, that's all right.
Whereabouts in Australia are you?
Near Newcastle, a place called Madawi.
Okay.
It's
A bit wider than that.
Oh, okay. New South Wales.
Brilliant. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And, so, yeah.
Well, Gloucester's quite close to the old South Wales.
Oh, okay.
It's about 30 miles west of us.
South Wales being South Wales, as in Wales, Welsh.
As in Wales itself, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
How did you hear of us?
Yeah. Sorry?
How did you hear about us?
Well, how did I hear about you guys? Look, I would have seen something on Facebook.
Yeah, probably.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it was on one of the Poetry at the Brew, the American national one. There was someone who was performing here, and they left the link.
Yeah, we've got several people from the States who seem to join in.
Well, we got people. People from. There's a couple due tonight from America. from the States, and but some of our people that we know that are performing tonight also, well, they performed in Australia. Everybody's getting around a great deal at the moment during this pandemic.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one on Yvonne Ungati or something. I forget how she says her last name. She has a health and well-being thing at 12 o'clock here, so I've got to stay up late for that one. I've fallen asleep before it the last 2 times, but I try to get to that one as well, and that's in England. I'm not sure whereabouts. So the poetry events are scattered everywhere. So you know, if you're going to catch them all, it'd be a full-time job trying to keep track of them.
Wouldn't it? Yeah. And you'd be cross-eyed by the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. I made a note of all of them. So
All right.
it's about 30.
All right.
So I get.
Got people coming in?
Yeah, Lucia.
Brilliant.
Hi, Lucia.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, I'm fine, thank you. Now, are you still in Romania?
No, we are in Stroud.
Right. We have a gentleman from Australia now, so we're never quite sure where in the world people are coming
very
from.
nice. Actually, the world is so small.
Well, that's one positive that's come out of this pandemic, in that Zoom has opened the world up to poetry, whereas normally we would do events that are fairly local.
Yes.
This is really good because, you know, and we'll probably keep, if and when we get back to a normal, you know, local poetry nights, we'll probably keep Zoom going because we meet so many other people.
Yes, of course. Of course. We can listen. We can listen some kind of style poetry.
Yep.
Poetry in different styles.
That's it.
I should warn you, Lucia, I know you like to share the screen when we're doing that, but I'm hosting tonight because Jason is taking his daughter to Plymouth to catch a boat to France. No, to Spain. Spain. So I'm hosting tonight, and I'm not 100% sure I know how to do it, but if I can, I will. Okay.
Okay. Actually,
we'll just manage.
You can. You have to.
Make you a co-host, I think.
Yes, it's here. It's a screen sharing, and you can press on the screen sharing.
Yeah, but I think I have to make you a co-host first.
Yeah, something he has to do, but we'll see whether it works.
Yes.
Hello, Gerald.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I'm just moving something around, so I can't actually see you.
Okay.
You could see me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I was just gathering my poems.
Good. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Walsall, north of Birmingham.
Walsall, right.
Yep.
So that's about 60 miles, 70 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my brother lives in Wootton, so
oh yes,
he's my
link.
Link. Yeah.
Well, we have Michael Wilson with us tonight, who's from Australia.
Michael Collins.
Michael Collins. Sorry, Michael.
That's all right. Wilson's a good name.
What time is it in Australia?
Let's have a look. 3:54
a.m. In the a.m.
Yeah. This might be a bit of a challenge. It's all right. It's good. All good. All happy.
Oh, Catrice is coming. Good.
So far, so good.
Well, she's on, but I can't see her.
A picture of this.
She's coming. Hi. You're muted.
Hello, everyone.
Hiya. How are you doing?
Liz.
Good. Yeah. We're a little we're lucky to have Peter doing our Zoom admin tonight because Jason isn't with us. So but everything seems to be going really smoothly.
Hello, Peter. Hi, everyone.
I haven't met you before, but you're a long way away.
Oh no,
you're in Baltimore, I understand.
I am.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're not the furthest away person at the moment, though, because we have Michael Collins with us, who's from Newcastle, Australia.
No,
Wow.
Oh yeah, Newcastle.
Newcastle, Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pleased to meet you.
You too. It's Catrice. Hello.
Somebody else coming in from America. Brian.
Okay. Hi. Hello.
You right, Brian?
Oh, shalom, everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Josephine and Peter, are you husband and wife or brother and sister? I don't know. I shouldn't ask because it's none of my business, but I've always wondered, or you may not even be related in any way possible, but I have to finally ask.
We are lovers.
We're not actually husband and wife, but we cohabit, so in that respect, virtually.
So somebody had the original name Lay, or do you both like potato chips?
No, Peter. Peter's the Lay. I changed my name because we were looking after his kids, so it just made a lot of sense.
But do you like the Lay's potato chips? Actually, there's a British.
I've never heard of Lay's potato chips.
They're Spanish.
Frito-Lay's. It's an American brand. It's an American brand.
No, we haven't. We don't know about that link. Interesting. Are they delicious?
Well, you know what? There is a brand I have discovered here recently. It's a British brand of potato chips that are kettle cooked that are so good. And I can't tell you. I just saw it bought some a couple weeks ago at a store. And they were.
What was the name?
I can't tell you, but
wasn't Walker's, was it?
It could have been. They were like so wonderful. They were kettle cooked. You know, the ones that are sort of like flat and bubbly and wonderful like that. Yeah.
That's cool. Hi, Trevor.
Back. I'm gonna grab my glass. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go get some coffee real quick.
Yeah, certainly. How are you doing, Trevor?
I'm very well.
Good.
Looking forward to this.
Yeah, really looking forward to this.
Can I just mention, can I just mention for, I guess it's for Peter's benefit, Mike and I've just had a thing to say I've got to update something, so it may restart my computer. So if I fall out, I'll come back in again.
Yeah, okay. We'll understand that you've not just gone off in a huff.
Yeah, it's just my, it's one of the, it said, pending update, you know. I
know. They can be really annoying. If you can get out of it, probably best.
Yeah, I don't think I probably will drop out in a minute or two.
Okay.
Let me back in.
Yeah, we will. Hello, David.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, doing fine. Looking forward to tonight. Where are you now? Whereabouts are you?
Sorry?
Whereabouts are you living?
Oh, Bristol.
Bristol. Oh, you're the nearest, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, Trevor might be quite near us.
Trevor's
Thornbury is probably nearer, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I think you would. Halfway there.
Yeah.
Who's Jed?
We won't start fighting about it.
Sorry, Peter.
Jed's coming in. Who's Jed?
I don't know.
Hi. Jed?
Hello?
Just an update, if you want, on Poetry and the View in Nashville.
Yeah.
I've got in touch with them. She says thank you very much for the invite, and they actually know of Doc Janning and Special K.
Yeah, I think Doc Janning and Special K get around to quite a few gigs.
Yeah, certainly know.
Hi, Jed.
I'm not Jed. I was using Jed's account last night because I was running an event last night. So.
And right. You are then?
Peter Rowe.
Peter Rowe. Oh, hi.
Hi, Josephine.
Now I understand, yeah. I was just going to say, we didn't know who Jed was.
No, sorry, I was a bit late, me. Sorry.
So whereabouts are you, Peter?
Sorry?
Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Dorset.
Oh, brilliant.
Down in Bridport. So,
lovely.
Have you always lived in Dorset?
No, I'm from the north. I'm from Buxton originally.
Yeah, I thought the accent didn't fit.
Yeah, no,
Dorset.
I'm definitely working class northerner, I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid. That's great.
Did you still live in Lincoln?
Sorry?
Did you still live in Lincoln?
I did used to live in Lincoln, yes.
Don't tell me he's one of your connections that you've remembered from years back.
I don't know.
Were you in the Air Force?
No.
I was.
Oh, well, probably not.
I was at RAF Waddington for a while, and I lived in Lincoln in the RAF married quarters over near Orchestral Close. So,
who are you married to?
Somebody from Southend. She was a girl from Southend. So.
All right, it's okay. It's a different Peter Rowe.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
Oh dear.
My sister-in-law's sister was married to a Peter Rowe.
Ah, okay. Obviously not the real deal. Cheap forgery, probably.
Michael
I recognise some of these names here, so let's see.
Sorry, Lucia, what did you say?
Yes, Michael Collins. Looks like a very famous symphony conductor. In Romania, in the past, we had a very, very famous symphony conductor, Celibidache, and he immigrated in France, in Paris, and he conducted lots of very famous orchestra, Celibidache, right. And he's like Celibidache.
Hi, Simon.
Hello.
How you doing?
That. Yeah, good. How are you?
All right, thank you. Oh, now that's interesting, Derek. You've got a design right across your face.
Wow, I like that effect. It's like something from Doctor Who.
Good, yeah.
It's the green screen thing, isn't it?
But I mean, it's never done that before.
That's weird.
Oh my God, I do apologise.
That's all right. Don't apologise. It's quite fun.
For those of you who don't know, Derek Dohren is our feature tonight.
Yeah.
Hello everyone.
Hi, Derek.
You might get to see him in reality later.
Maybe it's best if I leave it like this. Maybe it's best.
Hello, Clive.
Hello, mate.
Hi, Clive.
How you doing?
Hi, Clive.
How's things?
Fine. Can you see Derek's new style?
Oh, stop it.
Derek's. Oh, yeah, brilliant.
I'm trying to fix it. I don't know how to fix it.
Right. Derek, if you go to
Jim will fix it.
You see where your video thing is down the bottom. If you click on the little arrow down the bottom and click on video settings.
Yes.
All right, and that should bring up your green screen options there. So
I remember.
Video.
Oh God.
And I thought it was those pills I was taking.
There you go.
That's better.
No,
that's great. I like the new haircut, Derek.
Mr. Oserman?
You know, it's getting in my eyes, so. Yeah.
Mr. Oserman?
Anyway.
You can see where he's going when he's driving the bus now.
Clive?
Who's
Hello?
speaking? Who's
Clive?
speaking?
Hello.
I am. Can I?
Oh, sorry, Brian.
Hello, Brian.
I was wondering, is that a painting of your brainwaves on the wall?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't actually got a brain, so.
It has quite a sense of humor. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to give it another couple of minutes, and then I think we'll get going. We haven't got Jason today, so Peter is holding the fort very successfully so far. Keep our fingers crossed.
Peter Rowe is now looking extremely confused.
I am, yeah, so it's Peter
Oh,
Lay.
sorry, Peter Rowe. Normally, the Gloucester Poetry Society is made up of myself and Jason Conway, who normally does our sort of IT stuff. And so he's usually sitting where Peter Lay is sitting at the moment. But he gave us a tutorial yesterday or the day before.
Yep.
And so we sort of know what we're doing now.
If you get stuck, shout out. I do all the technical stuff for our events.
Oh,
so.
brilliant. Okay.
Don't shout in this direction because you know how bad I am with it all.
He hasn't gone away again, has he?
I hope not, Derek.
He hasn't gone away again, has he?
Who, Jason?
Yeah.
No, he's taking his daughter back to catch a boat to Spain.
Not Scottish poems then.
Yeah.
No, he's driving to Plymouth to put his daughter and his stepdaughter on a boat to Spain.
Wow.
Because
Oh,
they
really? Only 6 on that boat then.
He's just going to put them on the boat. I assume they'll be, well, the daughter's older. So the stepdaughter's older, so I assume that they'll be met at the other end or they'll catch a train or something. I don't quite know where they live in Spain. Whew.
Okay, we'll give it another 3 minutes and then we'll get started, I think. Because we've still got Doc Jannings, Matty Blades,
Ray Zera, and then there were a few other people that said they were
but I think that's probably, yeah, I think we'll get
be quiet.
started. Who's up for doing an early open mic? Anybody quite happy to do the first slot this evening?
Clive's put his head down.
I don't mind.
No, not you, Clive.
I'll go.
I need
You'll
people
go,
to be
okay.
drunk by the time I get on.
Okay, hang on then, Brian. I'll put you in on first. But before that, I've got a few words to say. So I think we'll get started.
Let's give it till 10 past.
Okay, 2 more minutes.
There is about another 8 people that said they were coming.
Yeah. But,
Hi, Simon. I remember you from yesterday.
Yes, I remember you. Yeah, how you doing? It was good.
oh, you were with the, yeah.
It was really good yesterday.
Yeah.
So we have a cosmopolitan audience for you, Derek. Michael Collins from Australia.
From where?
Australia.
Oh wow. Okay.
Is it 373? Is it
Hi, Michael.
36000?
Peter.
Derek.
Yeah.
Can you?
Hi, Derek.
Can you do me a favor? Just call
Hi,
me back
Patrice.
and
Can
leave me
you
a message. with the
mute
correct number.
Brian? Can you mute? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah. Hang on.
You don't know what you're doing.
Hello? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
I
there.
received-
Sorry, I was just saying.
I received a call from someone and I told them to call me back, and I'm
Okay.
just trying to not do that. I usually turn off my ringer and said, but I saw someone was calling.
His name.
Say cell phones sometimes are not all
He
there.
comes up as
Yeah. I couldn't read.
Generalissimo?
Very good. Yes.
Yeah. So years ago, I had a stage name, Generalissimo, because
Oh, Franco.
my last name, because it's sort of the opposite of my personality. I'm as mild-mannered as you can get. So I wanted something ridiculous.
We'll believe you.
So you've never run a medium-sized European country in a dictatorial fashion?
Possibly in a past life when I was still alive as a child, it is possible. Because he did die when I was young, but yeah.
Okay.
We crossed over together or something to that degree, and it sounds like a pile of crap anyways, but yeah.
Okay.
He did have Jew in his background, and I'm Jewish, so yes.
Oh, right. Okay. I think we'll start. I think we'll get started. So welcome everybody. Actually, it's quite nice that everybody's coming slowly, because I was just saying to Peter, it's not like you know, when you're about to start a real event, you've got everybody coming in, you're giving them hugs, you're getting cups of coffee, you're having chats, and that's a lovely feeling. And with Zoom, very often that is absent. But tonight it's been great because we've been having chats and it's worked well. If I could ask you to mute if you've got any background noise at any point in time, that's the best thing, especially if people are reading their poems, okay? So welcome everybody. This evening, I just want to take a couple of minutes to talk about a friend of ours, a friend of the Gloucestershire Poetry Society, who sadly passed away a few weeks ago, and today was his funeral. His name was Jonathan Robert Muirhead, and he was a lovely guy, and he used to come to so many events all around the southwest, both here to Squawkers and Villanelles in Gloucestershire, but also Swindon, Ubi Hive, Clive's Ubi Hive, and Stroud, Piranha, and so on. I won't go into so many, but he was a great guy. And so I thought it would be rather nice to read one of his poems as a start today. This is actually a poem that's going to be published in our trawler, which will be nice too. So this is one for Jonathan. It's called Recurring Dream, and he puts draft 1, so it's an early draft. I walked again old streets last night, my chest puffed out as if for a fight. I know not what I was looking for, be it a mild servant or a worthy successor. I was in among streets I did not know. They stirred in me a melancholic glow. I was dressed as if for a job interview. May have been, who knows, and who knows, it may have been with you. I was coming home for the right reasons, it seemed. The sky was blue, the sun it gleamed, and yet I know not where I had arrived. My smile it fell, my heart it decried, for the streets grew and curved as I travelled along. My home was nowhere, the building had gone, as had the fields where I once ran free. New houses and roads, they meant nothing to me. I was loyal to them, those that I'd kept in my head. The memory was true, the reality dead. I rode on a bike I'd had as a child. The sun kissed my cheeks, the wind was mild. As I sailed on past family, now long gone and dead, having conversations with them in my head. For I saw them as they were, not what they wanted to be. And in that moment, they became more vivid to me. I laughed with them and joked, hugged them and cried, told them what they'd got wrong and correctly prophesied, and rode on further still as the scenes floated and merged. My memories, they faded, my visions, they converged. More developments flocked on, invading field and playground. The kids will miss out now, and but financial planning sound. And my eyes then sadly lifted as the new day's dawn did break. This was only a dream, but it was there for my sake. Thank you, Jonathan. That's brilliant. So we will much miss him, and there will be another couple of his poems read throughout the evening, which would be nice. And just one tiny little poem of mine that I wrote when I first heard the news. It's very rough, but I think It tells you what I felt at that time. Pick up the newly dead, hold them close and carry them, for they are fragile without skin, have no shape without bones. Their breath is remembrance. Though they have left us, they too are in need of love, of the haunting touch of mind. So pick up the newly dead and think of them. Thank you. Thank you. It would be lovely if he could be here, it really would. Anyway, that's enough now. So we are going to get on, and we're going to start from America, all over there in the US of A, with Generalissimo Brian Franco. Welcome.
Can I just say something before you start, Brian?
Yes.
I love your antlers.
What?
I love your antlers.
It's actually a Hanukkah menorah that turns upside down into a pair of Sabbath candlesticks.
Ah, but it looks just like you've got antlers.
I thank you very much.
That's all right.
I thought it could look like the devil's horns, you know, that Michelangelo used to paint Jewish people with horns in them.
All right. No, you look much more like a deer.
I thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yes, dear.
So
now you're making me blush by saying stuff like that to me. Yes. Okay. How much time do I have?
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Zippity doo dah on that. Okay. We're going to start with a brand new piece. And I wrote this in a workshop. I didn't get a chance to read it in the workshop, so it's a little. It might be a little shaky. It's called Holy Highwire Batman. That's a tentative title. There have been times I have continued to cry after my teardrops ran dry. In California, almond and avocado farmers hire water well drillers that use oil exploration drills to tap previously untapped aquifers. The Earth's water is not an infinite resource. Farmers dig deeper and deeper every year, yet I still continue to cry when my teardrops run dry. Unlike the Earth, I will never run out of emotions. I won't deny myself a good cry, which is my equivalent of a balancing bar for an unrepentant daredevil high-wire act life. I understand I can't keep drilling till I hit nothing, that my personal aquifers are a limited resource, but crying on the inside is an option that has never worked out. And I can choose to let the high wire exist without attempting to ever cross it again. Thank you. Poem number 2 is going to be called, It Takes a Special Kind of Kleenex to Clean Dystopian Tears. This is also relatively new. Reality blends into dystopia as its eyes bleed dollar bills that burn when they touch cheeks. Facial skin becomes leathery, not cracked, but just hard enough to still be pleasant to touch. What people in the antique biz call weathered, conditioned with exotic plant and animal oils that cost more than a not so dystopian meal. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. That was brilliant.
Well, I'm not done yet.
Oh, you've got another one. Sorry.
I do have another one. It's a very old one. It's called Nobody Knows Nothing Anyway. Some people claim they know all the facts. Some people claim God gave them the axe. Some people claim they know the world like the backs of their hands. Some people just bury their heads in the sand. Some people claim they know all the answers but never give answers away. Nobody knows nothing anyway. Some people won't kiss unless they can kiss and tell. Some people worry they'll end up in hell. Some people got pushed off cliffs and some fell. Some spent many a night in seedy motels. Some people don't like their lives, so they sell their souls away. Nobody knows nothing anyway. Some people live, sleep, and eat in the streets. Some people do whatever they please. Some people eat lobster and beluga caviar. Some people just ride round in their Mercedes-Benz cars. Some people serve other people food from sterling silver trays. Nobody knows nothing anyway. Some people always wanted to be class clown. Some people lost the desire to clown around. Through Jesus, Elvis, or Buddha, some people get found. Some people scream loudest without making a sound. Some people run round and round in circles every day. Nobody knows nothing anyway. Some people live life for yesterday. Some people live life all work and no play. Some people live life like tomorrow is the end. Some people live life in a world of pretend. Some people like life the way it is, or so they say. Nobody knows nothing anyway. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Special K is here.
Another big hand for Brian Franco.
Gracias.
Brilliant. Okay, so we'll carry on. Gerald, are you okay to go next? Gerald? Yeah.
Okay, I've got 3 short poems. I'm going to start with we had a topic of kindness to write a poem about, and this was one that I wrote as part of that series. It's called The Price of Kindness. He bought some kindness for £1, and there was change. The shopkeeper who was selling kindness didn't seem bothered that the price was so low. Pocketing the change, he thought that was a good deal, and as he passed the beggar on the street, smirked. I bet he didn't get a deal like that. Meanwhile, the change in his pocket weighed heavy, while the kindness, almost like helium, floated upwards, and he kept having to pull it down. He almost reached his house, but he tripped on a flagstone and let go of the kindness which floated upwards into the atmosphere. There was not enough money in his pocket to buy a second kindness, even at the prices the shopkeeper charged. So instead he put hatred on his lips and went inside. "Did you get the kindness?" his wife called out from the kitchen. "I saw a beggar," he said, "and he didn't get any either, so that's all right. I've enough change to go to the pig and lion, so I'll see you later." His wife didn't comment. The shopkeeper watched the kindness float away. He'd plenty more. The beggar came into the shop. He wanted some shoes. The shopkeeper said he'd got half-price kindness, but the beggar couldn't afford it. That's the thing with kindness. It's as expensive as you make it, or as cheap as a moment passing. The man stumbled back from the pub. His wife took a pinch of kindness from a drawer under the table. She hadn't much left, and she wasn't going to waste it. The price of kindness.
Wow. Fantastic.
Thank you. The second one is also one I haven't read. If I can guess, it's called Places I've Never Been. And this was kind of a longing poem. I think we all have longings. Places I've never been. The silhouettes of places I've never been. That shadowy clump of unknown acquaintances. Long lost uncles who leave me millions. Children who look up to me as father. Beyond the adulation of the Booker Prize jury lies a beach as long as a Gauguin landscape, palm trees and pina colada stalls, or perhaps Margate and a small B&B run by yours truly. The ability not to cry. Somewhere up in the loft, behind the portrait covered by cloth and dust and days that weren't, I see you shortly in a box of remnants, my other selves. Do you remember when I stood before the Queen and we chatted idly about my charity work? Or that time I sang with Bono and we bowed before the adulating crowd? I feel it behind my shoulders, that silhouette of places I've never been. It's a comfort when I have to look forward. That's a place I've never been. I'd finish with one. Finish with one more, quickly.
Not too long.
Sorry, not too long. I'm just going to finish with this one then. What makes this sea pooling? What makes this sea pooling and in this still bay rumble over itself as rhythmic as the softening beat of those who pass, hidden by rock crests and under trees, on stunted upper cliffs from which silence outplays and small birds whistle and larger birds climb? What holds this pooling in of turquoise between deep maroon or further out beyond the bit ends of rock, stretching back to where the waves start from a single glimpse line, sketch made, rubbed clean, uncharcoaled, always. That's from my book. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Just realised I was mute there, sorry. But yes, that was lovely. I really enjoyed all three. Thank you, Gerald. What is your book called?
It's called L.I. 51 Poems, and it's kind of joke. It's a Jacob Rees-Mogg type of joke. 51 okay. Is L.I. and it's a lie. But that's my book, and it's got 51 poems. They're all kind of sonnety, and they're in order because that's the only way I could do them. And yeah, you can get it on Amazon or from me if you come to a poetry reading when we do them.
Okay, or, if you want to put that on the chat, so if anybody wants to.
Will do.
That would be good. Okay, lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Gerald. Moving on, could we have Simon Aldwick? Are you okay for doing your poems now? Okay.
Yeah. This one is called Standing in the Rain. Standing in the rain, feeling grateful for my jacket. I can hear the rain pat, 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 pat on my jacket. I can feel the rain flicking me through my jacket. I don't even know what I'm doing here, standing in the rain. Pat, 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 I got my hood up. Pat, 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 rain is trickling down my face and over my eyes. I'm slowly drinking the sky as it falls from all angles. The grass is flooded like a hose has been left on. If I walk, it will be squelch, squelch, squelch. But I must stay here, looking out over this field, and some old angry guy is talking, screaming, and I've done something wrong, but I don't remember what or why or when or whatever. I just remember standing in the rain.
Oh, that's good.
This one is called Love in Stereo. I'd soak up your words through tinny speakers, drink your soul from a styrofoam cup. I'd wear you inside out by mistake all day, hang you over the chair when I take you off. If you were my shoes, I'd keep you under my bed. If you were a picture, you'd be framed on the wall. Wherever you were sat would be full of natural light, and I would keep the window open. You'd be washed, ironed, folded, pressed every other week. I'd never do you in the microwave. I'd always keep you sweet. If you were best kept refrigerated, I'd put you in that little shelf in the door. If you preferred it in the cupboard, you'd be next to the Weetabix and tins of beans. I'd have you on ice after work, before lying down, turn you up, close my eyes, and let those speakers rain.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. Is that it, or have you another?
I could do a quick one, I guess. That's okay. This is called Day is Dead. Day is dead, chicken shop carcass, chalk out lines drawn on the street. The city's rhythm lost in laughter, haunted houses, broken dreams. Last orders, visiting time over, a vigil on the night bus home. Crushed beer cans reborn as ashtrays, CD case paired with credit card. Roll a dice and pray to know the feel of losing everything. Crowded parties, lonely people trying to offload your soul. Shared roll up in a back garden, a hand moves up inside a bra, hanging out, asphyxiated, banging against the bathroom door. Primal desire for kebab wraps, drown your face inside that meat. The end refrain cries out for violence, creeping curfews, pointed teeth. The moon is burning up the city, a ghostly face at the window. The sight of blood excites these monsters. How to break is all they know.
Very good.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
That was good.
Yes.
Big hand, please, for Simon Aldrich. That was brilliant. Thank you, Simon.
Very good.
Hi, Kathy. Lovely to have you with us. You there? Can you? Would you like an open mic?
Yeah, okay. Are you sure?
Yep, I've got space in the second half, so I'll pop you in. Well, I mean, if I'm not wrong, you're the feature at Beehive next, aren't you? So
yeah.
We can't not offer you an open mic slot. My goodness. No, it'd be lovely. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. Trevor, are you okay to read your poems?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to do something slightly different. So I often listen to poetry, and the musician in me says that could be a song. And I wrote this one as an example of something that started off as a poem, but was then had some music to it, and I'm going to do both. So it's called Holy Communion, not the communion that you might imagine, but. Then the rain changed to snow down the avenue, says the man. I'll take you to a place you know. It's a plan. He'll feed you caviar and rosé wine, eating all the time, while he's making love to you. The winter storms go to hell. To raise your glass and drink his health and sip the rosé wine, and you'll wake up in the morning, but instead of feeling fine, the storm is over, you're won over, no resistance inside. The lover talks of freedom and he's gone. Just a sinner, he takes communion further on. It's a game that he plays with his rosé wine, magic charms to his cold caviar. It's a lover's collusion, holy communion. Sip the wine and he's gone.
Good.
So that's poem.
That's brilliant.
Then the rain changed to snow down the avenue, says the man. I'll take you to a place I know. It's the plan. He'll feed you caviar and rosé wine, eating all the time while he's making love to you. The winter storms can go to hell. So raise your glass and drink his health and sip the rosé wine. You'll wake up in the morning, but instead of feeling fine, the storm is over, you're won over.
Oh no.
No resistance The lover talks of freedom, and he's gone. Just a sinner, he takes communion further on. It's a game that he plays with his rosé wine, magic charms to his cold caviar. It's a lover's collusion, holy communion, sip the wine, and he's gone. There you go.
Woo!
Thank you, Trevor. That was good.
That was brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
We just almost lost you mid-song, and we were all sort of, but Zoom managed to get you back.
And sometimes the guitar and the voice compete with each other using Zoom. So
Right. That's a shame.
I think it was a technical glitch for about a second.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Not too bad then.
No, not too bad at all. That was brilliant. Another, is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Another big hand for Trevor Valentine. And it's lovely to have a bit of music. Lovely. Thank you. Right. Moving on from that. Who wants to follow that?
Can I give a plug?
Yeah.
Saturday, 7 p.m. our time, 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time in America. I'm appearing on Dallas Songwriters Association.
All right.
Singing. So, yeah.
Do you? That's brilliant. Do you want to put that in the chat? And if anybody wants to pick up on that, they can.
Happy to, yeah, yeah. I know it isn't everybody's bag, but there you go.
No, it's brilliant. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Who shall we have next? Lucia seems to have left us for the moment. So, Peter, do you want to go? Peter Lay.
Yeah. Who's that laughing?
It's me, because I'm
there's
Peter
two
as well.
Peters,
I thought
Peter Rowe might have thought I was going to say
I did.
Peter Rowe.
I did. I was getting old. Oh.
I'll put you next, Peter,
Okay.
so you don't have to wait too much longer.
Okay, I'm going back to Jonathan Robert Muirhead as well, mainly because about 6 days, 5 or 6 days before he passed, I had a dialogue with him because I was getting him to, he's got 2 songs that we've chosen to go in the trawler, which is a selected number of poems by the Gloucestershire Poetry Society in an anthology. And I was have a dialogue to get a brief biography from him. And I also talked about the other song that he's had in it, Josephine did, which was entitled Poem So Sad in Sainsbury's Draft 1. And for reasons that may become obvious, I suggested him that we change the title to Mona Lisa. And he said, yeah, that's great, do that. And so in the book, this poem is called Mona Lisa. If you've heard it before by Jonathan, you may know it as Poem So Sad in Sainsbury's Draft 1. But so this is it. Your face to me this morning was like the Mona Lisa, dissolving slowly. It seemed to drip onto the heel of your hand and your wrist. All white around the veins seemed to sparkle with melancholy. The shop lights painted circles of pale white and yellow around you, a small halo of sadness. And all around you, the buzz and drone of folk and families all panic buying. No one saw you apart from me, and once I'd seen your eyes, I could not look away. Small wells of emotion that seemed to slowly get bigger the longer I looked. So I did not look too long, but yet not long enough to know you a moment. I wanted to speak to you, but I did not dare, lest I upset you further. How, I don't know, but I felt for you still. Why, I know not. But I felt for you still, there on your own, or at least that's how you seemed. At that moment, at that time, in this shop, in this town, maybe because you could not get all the goods that you needed, maybe because you weren't feeling well, or maybe because you weren't feeling at all. I don't know. I didn't ask. It didn't feel right. But I hope you're okay now. Thank you.
Brilliant.
I think Clive will probably mention Jonathan later.
Yeah.
So, I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Eric. Okay. Thank you, Peter. Is that it? That's where you're stopping. Okay. Another big hand for Jonathan via Peter. And okay, Peter Rowe, I'm happy for you to go next.
Right, okay, I've got three, but I'll do two because I don't know how I'll do for time, because we'll see. Okay. Right, the first one's called The Great Race. It may not be immediately apparent, but I'm Asperger's, and it caused me a lot of problems at school when I was growing up. Nobody knew about that sort of thing then, but I was just different. So anyway, so The Great Race. Sitting in a stall in the outside loos, both feet in polished shoes, firmly set against the door, the only way I could be sure of the 15 minutes respite this cold, stinking oasis might provide in a world suddenly changed by caring parents who arranged to transfer me to another school of just boys where gang kids ruled and different, like me, stands out, where the playground games are all about war and sport and being the best, being top dog, and damn the rest. And the main door opens and they step inside, opening each stall, hoping to find the weird kid full of facts and rules who works and makes them look like fools. So they'll give me a beating to stop me from thinking, and all this time I'm shallow breathing, this air that's stinking of pain, fear, and the physical detritus of the supposed top dog and cream emeritus of the grammar school system, full of the elite and bottom feeders who'll go on to become our bankers and our country's leaders. And all I want is a brief respite, just for one day. I don't want to fight against this system that you've made, your contractors and assessments that make me afraid. I shouldn't need to explain my pain about the stuff that goes on in my brain. Your civil servants, your people that I face, are the ones who help put us in this place. Taking money from the poor and disabled for your financial holes isn't going to fill those empty spaces in your vacuous souls. You want to blame someone because your world got broken? Look at your car, your house, your lifestyle. Should you be so outspoken? Or are you sitting in a stall in the House of Commons loos, both feet in highly polished shoes, firmly set against the door, the only way you can be sure of 15 minutes of respite in a world suddenly gone to shite? Perhaps in this world you feel is so changed, your way of thinking could be rearranged to a point where difference stands out and is more commonplace, and you can win your rightful position in this human race.
Whoa, very good.
Okay. Thank you. This next one is, I'm working on a project with Live Talk and their Siren Poets project, and this is one of my contributions to that project. So it's called I Spoke to Our Mother. I went through the wood to the top of the hill, and I sat and I waited until everything was still. I opened my heart to the mother of all. I gave her my words and she heard my call. Her message was sent in dreams in the night, moonlit, a medicine man covered in light. And we sat down on the ground in a circle of trees, and he said, listen, hear our voice, please. You mine and you dig, you leach my substance away, you strip and you burn my protection each day. You cut and wound me, expose all that's within. Tread soft on my mantle, take care of my skin. You're not just living in nature, you are living nature, and the blood in your veins is iron from my heart. The flesh and your bones are me, every part. We're all made from the substance of stars. Take care where you step. You walk on your scars. You are the dawn, the morn, and the midday sun. You're the fading of the light when the day is done. You are the rain, the storm, and the streams that run. You're the cry in the night, the song at dawning light. You're the whisper in the trees and the summer breeze. You are the waves, the shore. You are so much more. You are the mountains and the earth beneath your feet. You are the cycle of life, and you are complete. You're not just a passenger. We all have a role. Listen to your voice, your heart, and your soul. And with that, we stood up, all dressed in green skin, and the question on my lips, where do we begin?
Wow.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Thank you. Sorry about that, Peter. I thought you could...
No, that's all right. Dramatic pause.
A dramatic pause, and I beg your pardon. That was brilliant.
How did I do for time?
It would have to be a very short one if you've got a very small one.
It is a short one, but if it's 40 seconds, I might not have time. So.
Go.
Pardon?
It's
Go.
fine.
Yeah. Go for it.
Go. Okay.
Yeah.
It's called Smombies. Something totally different. Smartphone zombies marching to and fro, eyes on their screens everywhere they go, eyes glazed, oblivious to the environment all around. Their fingers fly in frenzy when they hear that little sound that says they've got a message from one of their zombie mates of a new exciting offer that promises new zombie rates. They say a cure is coming. They say there'll be no pain, a little chip inside you connected to your brain. There will be no privacy, no coffees with your mate. You'll be part of the wiring in the technocratic zombie state. Smartphone zombies marching to and fro, caching data from your eyes everywhere you go.
Love it.
Thank
you very much, Peter. That was brilliant.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Okay. Next, could we have Doc Janning from Ohio?
Yes, you may.
Welcome, Doc.
2 days ago, we had a rainstorm you wouldn't believe. We had almost 4 inches of rain in about 6.5, 7 hours.
Gosh.
And I wrote this as a sort of my response to it. It's titled Opera. Dark clouded sea of sky, lowering, heavy, pregnant, giving birth to plump drops, falling in thrumming, strumming, age-old ballet, swirling across rooftops of cities and towns, through forest and field, o'er mountain and glen, rippling across streams and lakes, rivers and oceans, washing air, reviving earth, scents of rain and petrichor, melding, mingling in heavy melodic bouquet, roaring raucous paeans of thunder, coruscating songs of lightning, an exuberant intonation of cloud-limed sun, all weaving into ebullient arios rainbow chorus of life.
Wow.
And I've another. This one came about because a friend of mine who's the director of Jewish education at a synagogue in Houston needed a poem to recite when she blows the shofar during the month of Elul, which this is right now. It's the month preceding Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And I dashed this off the next morning. Elul, a time of reflection. This time of the year, a time of reflection, a time of self-judgment, the beginning of healing and of moving forward. We review all our strangeness, our quirks and our flaws, the ways we've been toxic, hurtful, wrong. We search in our darkness for the wounds we have made, to ask then forgiveness that we might atone, seeking the gateway to love, to healing, to peace. Then we move forward with passion and grace to accept the new us, accept the blank slate in the quiet stillness of prayer and of self.
Brilliant. Thank you.
So far, this has gone to a number of rabbis across the U.S. and indeed one in the UK.
Brilliant.
I'd like to read, if I've got time, I'd like to read one short piece.
Yeah, a very short one's fine.
Very short one. In darkness, my soul is fed by memories, memories of that which cannot be replaced or replicated, memories of a love and a home which never were, beyond the briefest of times, a time and a place which never again will be, a longing for belonging, a feeling of saudade and hiraeth and loneliness.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Dr. Janning. Another big hand for Doc.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Michael Collins, are you awake enough over there to do your poem now?
Okay, yeah, I'm awake.
Thank you.
It's called She Has Nothing to Gain. It's two voices. The CD it comes from is this one, which is called The Hum. And yeah, but you'll get the hang of it. Excuse me. She has nothing to gain by giving false praise. She's happy to tell me the truth. Your words are not for everyone. Get used to it, my friend. You fall in love too easily and too quickly for your own good. That is why you write this way. And I know that you know this. I'm not saying anything new. You cannot be out there with such inadequate personal defences. Close the shop, lock the door, put up the out to lunch sign. Caught as you are in this mix, you must stop believing that you have the silver bullet quick fix solution to everybody's problems. Stand before the mirror that you tell others to stare into. We will all get along well enough without you. Okay, thank you.
Very good.
That's lovely.
Got more?
Yeah, do, please.
Well, I wasn't sure about how we were going for time there.
You're about 5 minutes total.
Okay. All right, I'll do another short one. Seasons. The heat of the sun in spring, subtle, like a semi-smile turned just so, or the waking dream of an uncertain soul running along a beach and wondering how much time is time enough. The heat of the sun in summer, burning, like those hot coals you stumble across, or a passionate, exquisite kiss that is offered unconditionally when dreamers climb higher than Everest, become lost in perfect trust. The heat of the sun in autumn, soothing, like an extended embrace or a 20-minute shower that warms you from head to toe, drowning out the sound of the universe, washing away life's every wrinkle. The heat of the sun in winter, failing, like the light of a dying day or pale words of questioned love spoken half-heartedly across a half-century of dull, not soon enough made clear. Thank you.
Oh, wow. I love that one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you with us, Michael. Brilliant.
Michael
Thank you
from
very
Australia.
much. Michael from, yes,
Yeah.
New South Wales, Australia. Brilliant. Thank you. Right, I think we'll do one more and then we'll have a break. And I'm just looking on the list. Lucia, is she there? Have I lost her?
Yes, I'm here.
There you go. Behind us, the chat box, and I couldn't see you.
Okay.
Would you like to do your poems, please, Lucia?
Yes. Can I use share screen?
Yeah, hang on. I'm just letting some people in.
Do you have one that doesn't need the share screen?
No,
or?
it's okay. I think I can do it. Just bear with me. Just bear with me.
Yes.
This is all new for me. Lucia. So more. Wait, co-host. Yes. Right, you should be able to share your screen now.
Oh, yes. Wonderful. The first
yes.
The first poem actually is dedicated to Jonathan. Yes. A Little Light to Jonathan Robert Muirhead by Lucia Daramus. There is a steam on the field. There is a steam in the grass. There is a steam on the clouds. This steam is calm. It is from my heart. You know, my soul struggling like a sheep when is cut. Beyond the world fence a shepherd's smile, which is feeding my soul, my heart. There is a foam on the mountain. There is a foam in the sea. There is a foam on the sky. This foam is kind. It is from my mind. Sometimes I'm falling down with my broken knees on the dust. Like a baby sheep, I'm growling with my asking eyes to the sky. I'm gathering my rabbit's feelings in a holy cup from the Holy Supper. I'm giving to my little angel my broken thoughts and my soul, my heart. There is a flame in my body. There is a flame ghost in my breath. There is a flame in my vein. This flame is my broken mind, in which is flickering a little light. Thank you. This was the first poem dedicated
Lucia, Lucia, I'm afraid with the poem on the share is not the poem you just read. Were you aware of that?
Oh, okay.
But actually it didn't matter because it was beautiful and we got every word, so that's not a problem.
Okay, and the second one is a nest without baying. John, take off your mind, take off your soul, take off your pain chain, and wash your memory cells. John, don't cry to the memory of Adam, Adam of the yesterday, Adam of the today. Just take off your soul, immerse in a light pool. You are not lonely in your solitude. Do you see? The light is so heavy, so clear, and so opaque, and so poor without wealth. The light has no crown, has no diamonds, has no crystals and gold, and she has no pain, no pain. You are not lonely in your solitude. No, don't build the cemeteries chained for people. The cemeteries are built of pain threads. John, for us, for men, we need a word, only a word, light, to live in this world, and to reject the pain of the fact of being born yourself again and again and again. We were ourselves through Adam. and only the shadow of our to be, to fly in nothingness, like a nest without being, a nest without being, in a cage only with yourself, but not lonely. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucia. Big hand. I always, beautiful words. Thank you, Lucia. Wonderful. Another big hand.
Thank you.
And I won't ask anybody to follow that because it is so beautiful. So I'm going to suggest we have a break now, and afterwards we'll carry on with our open mic, and then, of course, have our featured Derek. So that's brilliant. And yeah, Special K will be doing an open mic as well after the break. So that's going to be real fun too. So
about 8:10.
Yeah, about 8:10. Get yourself a drink, do whatever you need to, and we'll see you back here. Brilliant. Ooh. Welcome, Daisira. I've just seen you've just arrived. That's brilliant.
Feel free to
hello.
Yourself.
Hiya. You okay? Or are you staying behind the mask?
I don't know what you're talking about.
On your picture.
It's just an ornament. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I literally just finished performing at that other event, but here I am at this amazing event.
Good. Well, we've got our break now, so you've got 10 minutes to gather yourself together before we ask anything of you.
Understood, Josephine, understood.
Brilliant. Right, I'm going to go and get myself some drink.
Wants me to, I've got to leave this meeting. Peter, I'm going to leave now because this wants to update. So let me back in if you would, in a minute.
He's gone. I was saying thank you, Gerald, but he couldn't hear me. Oh, everybody's muted. Wow. Guys, quiet.
Isn't it just? My line dropped out. I don't know what happened. I didn't muck anything up for anybody.
What, everybody else, you mean?
Well, when I came back in, I'd got two going and I didn't realise I wasn't muted. So.
Oh, no, I didn't notice much. It's okay.
Okay. Kimberly? Kimberly?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Have you appeared in Poetry in the Brew in Nashville?
I have once or twice. It's kind of hard for me to get there though, because my children don't cooperate.
Is it far for you?
No, it's only, so I've been there online, because I'm in Virginia, so I'm about 14 hours away from Nashville.
Yeah. Okay. They knew of you anyway, because I was in touch with Christine today.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking, oh, we know this Special K, Kimberly and Doc Jennings, and oh yeah, we know them.
That's so funny. Humbling, like, that people know me.
Yeah. Have you actually been to the building?
No. And what's really funny is I used to live in Nashville. Well, I used to live like an hour away from Nashville, but it was before I was into the poetry scene, so okay. I didn't even know.
My daughter lives there now, so I get to go every so often.
Oh, that's awesome.
The aliens are coming. So have you been to the building, Trevor?
Again?
Have you been to the building in Poetry in the Brew?
Yes, it's upstairs in a cafe, basically. So they've just got this sort of upstairs room but it's ideal for, you know, what, 50 people probably.
Wow.
And they're very appreciative. So if you're in Nashville, just drop in. They'd make you more than welcome.
Wow. I miss those days. I miss live audiences and
yeah, true. And they just love the English accent.
Yeah, I was really worried when I started doing this on Zoom that people wouldn't understand me, but people seem to cope okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm realizing that like the accents, I guess to me, they're not as strong as I perceived them to be before all of this started and like all the Zoom world. Are you guys finding that too?
What, the English? Sorry, your accent, you mean, or
just accents in general? Like I just had this perceived idea of what the accents from different areas were, and then since I've been doing this, I'm like, wow, it's not actually as heavy as I thought that it was.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, you tend to just hear the exaggerated versions of things.
Yeah, it's true.
we're so used to the American accent. Of course, TV is just full of American stuff, so we're just used to it, and we can all speak American. Y'all.
I was just gonna say, give me your best American, Trevor.
but there are different American accents, so you can't do them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's funny though, but y'all, because y'all is like, it's a southern thing. So like in the northern area, they say "yous guys."
You guys.
Yeah.
Yous guys.
Yous guys.
I'm no good at accents.
I've now got an American grandson over in Nashville, and he's been called Hank, as you do. And I spoke to a friend up in Boston and told her, "Oh, I've got a grandson. He's named Hank." And she said, "Oh, how southern."
I'm thinking the same thing. It's like, yeah, it's very southern.
So, how is everybody doing anyway? Kathy, you doing well? Good.
I'm doing good. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
Lovely. We've got so many people from it's brilliant, isn't it? This all over the world thing.
It's lovely.
Trevor, we don't have a 40-minute cutoff.
Pardon?
We don't. All right. It just dropped from there. I just wondered whether it was off for everybody. So
GPS has a subscription.
Brilliant. For some reason, even if you don't, they've got a goodwill thing going at the moment where they just let you carry on, I think.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I think it depends how many people are on in the area, though. Sometimes it doesn't work. But I've never been turned off when I've done a sort of small group of people on Zoom.
While we're talking about sort of far and wide, actually know a poet in Australia, Manna Hart. I've been trying to coax her to come and do some poetry reading. She does commission stuff. She's very good.
Yeah, well, I hope you can.
The timing is not good, as Michael Wilson said. It's like it's 4 o'clock in the morning there now, Michael.
Yeah, look, yes, it was. But can I just get back to you're talking about southern accents, and coincidentally, originally I was going to read The Long Staircase, which is a poem of mine about sort of about the South, and it's read on the CD. It's read by an Australian, but she does this really great southern accent, and it's just she just blows it out of the water. It's so good. And when I put it on the CD, I put the poem in one speaker, coming out of one speaker, and our what's it called? Our Georgia Waltz on the other speaker, and they were both coming out, and it just had this really great effect. And
brilliant.
And look, the history of Our Georgia Waltz, which anyone from the South will probably know the song. It's amazing, a bit of an amazing history in itself, just on that song. So, yeah, I'm quite fascinated by the South. It's yeah,
fascinating.
If you want to put details of it, is that CD available?
Look, I've got about 5 or 6 copies left, maybe 10.
Available online.
But it's not available on YouTube or anything.
I kind of give them away to people, friends and relatives and whatever, presents and stuff. So I don't make a business out of my CDs. I just do them for me.
I didn't really wanted to put a link up, but if you haven't, that's fine.
Okay. I think we're going to have to get going because we've still got a really powerful open mic here before we actually get to Derek. So, Drazira, are you there?
No.
Ah.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Oh, goody. So, we're ready for you. Big hand for Drazira. We've not had him here on Zoom before, so it's great.
We have, but not for a while.
Wow.
Hello, everybody. My name is Drazira, and I have got 2 poems for you. This first poem is titled, No One Will Tell the Tale. Witness your loved one or someone you know in pain, trauma, and you turn away. Zipped up, mouth shut, and they won't run astray. Cashed out the check of your oppressing ways without paying the price. Stealing a livelihood of smiles. Witness your loved one or someone you know in pain, trauma, and you turn away. No one will tell the tale. Got away without fail, sending the innocents to hell. Justice dismounted as righteousness has fallen away. No one will tell the tale. Will you? Thank you all. Thank you.
Brilliant.
And now I have one more poem. I hope you're all good in the hood. I wish I would join earlier, but I double booked myself at another gig. And I was explaining to Josephine earlier, went, oh no, what do I do? The funny
You've got
thing is,
here, that's all that matters.
Yep, I travelled all the way from one Zoom event to another. It was mad. So the second poem is titled Knives Behind Smiles. It's all about how you're in a social group of people and you thought you're comfortable with it, but they unfortunately stab you in the back. And so this is a story about that. And I guess, yeah, here we go. To see circles tighten away from my grasp. Circles I wanted to call home, a safe haven, a safety blanket to warm my soul. But lo and behold, the key is tossed away, slamming the door shut without saying goodbye. They show warmth and flavoursome sweets, giving you treats if you nod away. Yet a shake of the head instead can bring the whole world crashing down, which it did, blowing out the candles of any memory they have of me, faded in smoke. I might be an acquired taste, mannerisms of the black sheep barking off the wrong tree. I see the good in all of you, no matter what darkness you bring, no matter what light you sing. I still see the good in all of you, even though you betrayed the sunshine from me, sharpening the knives from behind my back while smiling in front, all merry with smoothie cherries. Hey, are we full of serenity? No, it isn't. Take back the smile, lay the knife away from me. This ain't a Merry Christmas because it is my new year, my new scenery, my new beginning. And I have the key to my own circle and the door is shut on you. My name is Drazira. Thank you very much. And I shall zera later. Goodbye.
Boo! That was brilliant. Thank you. Another big hand for Drazira.
Cool.
Woo, that was dramatic. I loved it. Brilliant. Okay, Special K, are you happy to follow that? I do hope so.
Oh man, what happened? I don't know what happened there. Sorry, Special K, carry on.
I thought he was 5, where he wasn't finished. Yeah, I am good to go. All right, so I'm gonna do 2 quick pieces, I think. This first one is never before heard, so it don't have a title, but here you go. There is a rhythm when I speak, but not in my feet, and so I say I have none. And I have never moved to the beat of public drums, though I am most free when my body moves of its own accord, connected lyrically to the music that surrounds me. But I've been told often enough that dancing isn't really my forte, and so I don't. Choosing instead, I remain locked away. And I love music. With its raspy vocals, its jingly tunes, and grouped together chords, music is a joining together that no man can put asunder. Yet, I've learned to avoid the places where music is on display, because eventually the crowd will be asked to participate, to clap together or sway this way and then that way, all in unison. And while it looks like great fun, and as much as I would like to join in, I won't, because I've been convinced that every face will simultaneously look at me and instantly see that my hands either move too fast or too slow, or they will all suddenly realize at the exact same point that I've got 2 left feet. And just like that, I will have ruined the show. I was born to sing. I carry melodies in my back pocket, and I can harmonize whatever song you've brought. Bathrooms have great acoustics, and I know this because I used to give concerts there every morning and at night if it didn't get too late. But I've been reprimanded to quiet my voice one too many times, and I guess perhaps the joke of me calling cats became one I no longer wanted to hear, and at any rate, there are cobwebs where microphones once hung, and there's nothing to be sung. I try not to question if there is still purpose in my birth, and only ask occasionally why I was still born. These are the effects of an abusive cloud, and while I am only just now, years later, finding the courage to step out from underneath the umbrella and trust that the sun will shine, I am grateful for every drop of rain and each battle scar it gave, because they are mine. A tangible thing, constantly reminding my brain from whence we came, and also the teacher teaching my heart how to create new songs to sing. Breathe deeply. This is beautiful. This is life. This is me. So.
Lovely.
Okay, and one more real quick. Poetry is the way a woman snuggles into the swoon of a lover's embrace while she sleeps. It is the darkness that surrounds her, though she be in a room full of people. Poetry is oxygen, sustaining life, a releasing of carbon monoxide, its words flowing free, healing the damage and destruction of all these toxins she's been swallowing. Poetry is the cure to what ails you, minus visits to the doctor, co-pays, and time wasted. Poetry is a road not paved in hate. It is goodness and mercy. It is grace, a table prepared before thine enemies. Poetry is fluid, a never-ending motion. Its depths deeper than any ocean. Poetry can handle all this emotion. It is love. It is anger. It is the green monster, the one-eyed, one-horned purple people eater. Poetry is the ability to believe one-eyed, one-horned purple people eaters do exist. Poetry is this, a sweet blessedness that cannot be taken away, regardless of what anyone has to say. It is night turning into day, knowing morning won't last always. Dreariness, clouds, tears, and rain will fade, yet poetry will always remain. It is a safety net as you trapeze across the sky, daring you to explore limits beyond what you can see. Poetry is always asking why, and never satisfied with the cautionary tales of others. Poetry is a mother, always rocking you to sleep and encouraging your dreams to become a reality. Poetry is a father. Damn. Now, maybe that's something we don't always see, or perhaps it's a gift taken way too soon. And with its broad shoulders, we assume it to be strong enough to carry the weight of us in all our worlds. But that is just a presumption, cultivated and crafted from the thoughts of our imagination. Poetry is whatever you need it to be. It is a prostitute in the streets with whom you can be free. Poetry is Jesus drawing all men unto thee from a hill called Calvary. It is waking up to greet the dawn, unraveling from your covered cocoon. Poetry makes you weak in the knees and will have grown men swoon. Poetry is your baby mama's cousin's best friend on her daddy's side. You know, it'll spread you wide open, then turn around and give you a place to hide. Poetry is addiction. It'll have you fiending for snaps and claps, always taking you back to your first time. Poetry is yours. It is mine. It is ours. So puff, puff past the poet's treat. Poetry is not neat. It is messy and unconfined, though sometimes refined like aged wine. Now pretend with me for a moment. Poetry is sophistication, a justification to all that you cannot give an explanation. Poetry is home, and all are welcome here. No need to dry your eyes or hide your tears. Poetry is Ohana, and we're all family, dear. So take the blinders off, and you will see. Poetry is me. Poetry is you. Poetry is we. Can't you see? I am poetry.
Wow. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
I'm a fan.
It's poetry. Brilliant. Thank you, Special K. That was fabulous. Another big hand, please, for Special K.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Oh dear, who shall I pick next? Okay, I think Catrice. Are you happy to go next? Catrice Greer from the USA.
Everyone, thank you for having me. So since it's pretty lyrical today, I'll start off with a lyrical poem. It's called She Speaks in ADHD Melody. She's composing. Her speech is a pop symphony to me. Her friends say it's nonsense, a bunch of jangle jumping from bar to bar, bold like Rite of Spring, Stravinsky in his Russian period, all over again. And no one wants to hear this. They call it annoying, perverse, running on and on, illogical associations according to the rules. They miss the steady beauty of the hum underneath her shifting thoughts, spinning out of time and space, defying linear movement. And this is jazz in her talk, blowing solos, phrasing concepts, and the way and the sound. She remembers the time her uncle did this, which relates to the other thing that was about this thing that we were talking about before, but it is in line with the bass line of her first thought, flipping a somersault over her second thought, and blasting out like a shooting horn rhythm, finally merging with a steady piano melody, laced through as she switches like a metronome, back and forth, recanting life and sound, memory and feeling. We end at the base on a solid note.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yay.
I'm happy to do one more if you'll have
please,
me.
Please.
And this one is a little more somber, but it's still all right. It's called The Gathering. And I wrote it about COVID, post-COVID. Okay, so it's not maudlin, but okay. It's called The Gathering. Hear ye, hear ye. We are gathered here today, family, friends, enemies, enemies of my enemies. We are here at the black hole mouth of this isolated cave, in the grief painted, infected, unknown space, to bury our dead among us, those dead things between us that hold us back, those things we no longer speak, those things that twine and whip round our vocal cords that prevent the I'm sorries, I miss yous, I love yous, the pieces that bumble forward like an emotionally blind man, heady on drink, bumbling home too late for whatever he was meant to be there for, knocking over sentimentals and traditions passed down, collectibles shattered in pieces, launched, jagged, landmine shards speckling the ground. Our DNA, our ancestors, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers long gone, our creators, ask us to stand here together, ask ourselves if in this space we will abandon our old skins, our old breath, and choose to share anew. Can we bury this dead thing between us all so we can stand, wrapped in new sinew, tendons, blood, coursing miracles, spiraling through the breath lifting us in a swirl of meditative purpose? Can we find a new space, a sense of being? We are here in this vortex to bury the living dead under loam, clay, rocks, into the broken soil. Cover it. Mark it as resting here, never to go forward. We mark new paths with a sign. Here, as we crawl out, heel to heel, 6 feet apart, linked in spirit. Life begins anew. We celebrate together, mourning yesterdays, embracing our multicolored confettied I forgive yous, littered in the air, celebrating our tomorrows. Thank you.
Wow. So glad to have you on board here. It's brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful poem. Woo. Well, I think there's nothing for it. I'm going to have to get Clive to come in and lower the tone. I've got your back.
Good old Clive.
That was that bad.
Lower the tone. Yeah, follow that. I mean, bloody hell, I wish I'd gone first now.
Oh, dear.
Right, okay, it's me. I will start just by saying a little bit about Jonathan. We will be dedicating the next Do Beehive next Friday to Jonathan's memory. Kathy will be the headliner that night. And all I can say about Jonathan really is that whenever it was clear from my Facebook posts that I was down or having a bad time, it was always one of the first to contact me and check in with me, see if I was okay. And I know it was like that with other people as well. And it was a really great bloke. So, you know, it's such a sad day, you know, but a sad time, it really is. So, yeah. So, yeah, I know Jonathan liked to laugh, so hopefully this would have done him justice. I'm going to do 2 poems. Some of you have heard them, but some of you haven't. So I'm going to inflict them on the poor souls who have already heard them again. So, and I'm quite happy for you to unmute because I do like to hear reactions, unless it's stony silence, and then I'll wish you'd stay mute. So, so the first one's called The Bigger Issues. Some people seek answers to big issues like the meaning of life or what happens to us when we die. To them, my issues are small fry, insignificant in the scheme of things, and I have to confess that stings because I may not be intellectual, my grey cells are somewhat ineffectual when deep thought is deemed essential, but to me, the small things matter more. Like, what are wasps actually for? They get mildly angry and it's all out war. You try to repel them and they sting you to fuck. Then they do it one more time for luck. They show no compassion, not one little bit. The barbarous, pointless, shabby shit! Yeah. When I want to appear clever, I step it up a level and ask questions like, if music be the food of love, are cheese quavers an aphrodisiac? Is there such a thing as cheese semi-quavers to give me a quick thrill? If so, toss one my way, if you will. On the subject of food, does a fruit fly count as one of your 5 a day? I have my doubts, but if it does, I can ditch the sprouts, because they're not veggies. It's a well-known fact. They are Beelzebub's scrotal sack. And it's not just food that fascinates me. Other things I need to know include, is a really hard Englishman in Australia called a pomegranate? If I wrote a book on the history of censorship, would they ban it? Is David Icke for real, goddammit? If a group of crows didn't mean to get together, are they a manslaughter? Do water polo players ride seahorses? Are you lot bored stiff or is it rigor mortis? If you buy a wok on the internet, is his knee wok? When it arrives, you're in for a shock. And here's the thing. Will the first non-binary monarch be called Their Majesty the Queen? When they assess the age of a dinosaur fossil, is it even remotely possible to know if it used anti-aging creams? Calculations could all go to hell if it used those products by L'Oreal. But the question that concerns me most may come as a surprise. If you stick your head down the toilet, which isn't very wise, do you get floaters in your eyes?
Oh, God, Clive! Oh, my God.
How did you know I went online and bought a wok, or rather Peter went online and bought a wok?
And was it an Ewok?
Wok.
Right, the second one. Apologies in advance. Funnily, we should be talking about accents earlier because I can't do accents. Just like I can't sing, as Josephine will testify. I can't do accents and I can't do impressions. So for this poem, I'm going to do both. So, yeah. And it's called An Open Mic in Aston. And for those who don't know, obviously we've got people from America here and whatever. I'm from Birmingham, an area in a fairly, not particularly salubrious area in Birmingham called Aston. And they've got the worst football team as well, but that's another matter. So this is called Open Mic in Aston. Picture the scene. A cold, wet, Thursday night. There's an open mic at a grotty pub in Aston. And who should rock up but Her Majesty the Queen, dressed in ripped jeans, trainers from George at Asda, and a T-shirt with the slogan, "He's no son of mine." She's driving an Eddie Stobart truck, which she uses to ram cars out of her way to claim the best parking space. A bit like Derek's bus driving, really. She covers her head with a Primark bag to protect herself from the rain. She walks into the back room where the action is and steals the mic from Simon Armitage, who popped in to test his new limerick and have a swift drink and a spliff. Thankfully, the moment was recorded by an open micer, so enjoy it, it will delight you. Blimey! I don't know what they put in my beer, but I'd swear the Queen just walked in here. And he rode up. Next up to the mic is Simon. This is Simon's first time here, but he says he's had an illustrious career. He's had severe writer's block, but now feels ready to rock. So please, give it up for Simon Armitage. Thanks.
Was that it?
There once were a boy born in York who grew up with a sword made of pork. It stood up by its sense, so he panicked and then tried to puncture it with a fork. Thank you. Anyway, Armitage, you're my fucking laureate, so do as you're told and sit down. And that was rubbish. Who ever heard of a pork sword? You, posse. Now listen, motherfuckers, because this shit's real. I'm here to launch a charity appeal. I shouldn't be looking for them. I know a man who needs plastic surgery. Stop it. Stop laughing. I know a man who needs plastic surgery to change his ID as a matter of urgency. I would say he's sweating on your support, but apparently he can't do that no more. So if you can chip in with a few £1,000 to help him escape the baying hounds and give him certainty in the knowledge that he can pick up his girlfriend from her first day at college without ending up doing a stretch of porridge, then that would be sick, bro. I would ask Philip, but he's a dick though. Oh, bollocks to this shit show! Fuck protocol! I live on paracetamol! It ain't because of the pressure of being royal. Now, I don't want to be disloyal, but before I leave this mortal coil, I want to do the normal things with all the fun and joy that brings. I want to work in a call centre and enter into a bit of banter. Like, do you know who I am? I would say. Now, wouldn't that make some commoner's day? I want to live in a council house, decorate the west wing and rent it out. In fact, fuck the collection. A commoner's life is my intention. He could work in a sweatshop to earn his money. Now, alarmist dear, that is fucking irony. Thank you. Thank you. What do you mean, bringing the tone down?
I thought Catrice was going to pass out at one point.
Yeah, it was Catrice that was making me laugh.
She was muted too.
Hilarious. He's hilarious. I spit tea all over my laptop.
Yeah, I saw it.
Never drink tea when Clive is on. That was fucking hilarious.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, right, tone lowered.
Remember last time at Crazy Crows, Josephine, when I said I was doing a piece with loads of voices and I hadn't quite got it right? That was it.
Oh, right. Well, it's brilliant. Right.
That's perfect. Right. Perfect.
Woo! A big hand for Clive. And if you want more,
Thank you. Thank you, commoners. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Subjects.
We are running a bit late.
Clive,
we are running a bit late, so we might.
Okay. I'm just going to say, if you want more, you'll have to go to Ubi Hive on the 18th. And we'll leave Clive to do that later. Woo! Okay. Big breaths all round. David Ralph Lewis, would you like to take the floor?
You'd like to follow that.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I now understand like the tonal shifts they do on the one show, because I'm going to completely swerve it, but yeah.
That's good. But it's this rich tapestry of poetry. It's brilliant.
This first one's called An Invitation. Come cross the sea at night, when the moon is a target pierced by an arrow, a jet stream shot from distant lands. One small solitary figure alone under the moonlight. No sound but your constant engine, your breath distant and faint. You are not pushed forward by constant explosions, but pulled towards us, dragged on invisible spider's silk. Your perception sprawls out over the mutable waves. As horizon and sea blend, you twitch, trying to wake. Our island is a shadow, blocking stray stars at first, then growing like a revelation you refuse to acknowledge. Leave your beechcraft behind. Walk the route you know so well without having been here before. Trust your feet to guide you true, over the shore that sighs secrets, to the glowing lake where we bathe. We smile, invite you into the icy water. and wash all your memories away.
Very good.
And this one's called Fragment. Today, my mind is like confetti thrown to the wind, like a website with every space filled with adverts, all flashing for my attention, like a river delta as hundreds of tributaries race towards the ocean. Do you understand? It's like I've drunk 10 espressos and all I can hear is the thumping housebeat of my heart, or like I'm dust in the depths of the galaxy, not yet ready to coalesce into planets. You must know what I mean. It's like I'm a beam of light shot through a prism, or my thoughts are cryptic crossword clues, or I'm a CRT television stuck between channels, half images looping back over themselves. What I'm trying to say is I'm like a lizard darting across sands. It's like I'm caught in a washing machine near the end of the cycle, like I've become a comet, entering the atmosphere before inevitably burning, disintegrating, becoming nothing more than fine ash rain.
Wow.
Wow.
Brilliant, David. That was a great follow. That was brilliant. Thank you so much. Another big hand for David Lay.
Thank you.
One last open mic left. And that is Kathy Carson. Big hand for Kathy, please.
Hi guys. So I didn't know Jonathan. I saw him perform a few times on Zoom when he was incredible. But some of the posts and all the posts that I've read about him spoke about his kindness and about his generosity of spirit and how he lifted other people up. So I'm going to do a piece about really my first experience of kindness. Just really to salute him. I wasn't wearing shoes. You see, there hadn't been time to think once the ambulance came. That strapped me onto a stretcher like an invalid, drilled it through the snow. Curled on the couch of accident and emergency, I reread the posters on the prison grey walls. Hardest spot, sepsis. Which service should you use? 7-step hand washing technique. So I didn't hear the nurse come in and I jumped when she spoke. I'm Laura. I'm one of the triage nurses, she said. So we're just going to get you cleaned up and have a chat. Okay? She washed her hands. 7 steps, I noted. Opened up dressings under a shiny silver trolley now. Let's have a look then. She removed a blood-soaked pad from my side. It smelt like rust. I kept my eyes on the door. My dad would obliterate this room in seconds. That shiny silver trolley would ricochet off every wall, and Nurse Laura and I too. I felt my thoughts unravel like threads, weave themselves back together to sit like cotton on my chest. I didn't look at her. I kept thinking that if I didn't look at her, this wasn't really happening, so I counted the tiles on the floor. I studied the speckled pattern until it blurred. Are you going to tell me how this happened? I shook my head hard. You're not going to tell me? No. Okay. So let me tell you what I know. This right here, and she pointed to the wound just below my ribs. This is a puncture wound. So someone has done this to you. They've stuck something in you. And I could see it then. The hook of the poker glinting in the light just before it hit me, and it wasn't always as physical as that, but I preferred the blows to the pepper and the words. So someone has committed a crime here, and they really shouldn't get away with it. It isn't okay for someone to hurt you. That careful voice, and the way she set the words down gently. She moved around, sought my face, pointed to the marks just below my left eye, and those, she said, those are old bruises. So someone has hurt you before. Am I right? My dad? The voice was so small. I wondered who it belonged to. I searched the room for its owner, realized with terror it was mine. I had broken the code. I had told someone. I was 20 years old and I had never told anyone. Wait, did you say your dad did this? Her fear sounded the same as mine, that octave higher than normal. Wait, just wait there and don't move. I just need to speak to someone else. And she backed towards the door. I felt the room spin. Realized my mistake. Please, I said, Jesus, don't tell anyone. Just like stitch me up or whatever. I need to get back before he realizes that I've gone. But she was on her knees now. You don't have to go back. Let me help you. We can get you somewhere safe. She was holding my hands, and hers were cold, the way mine were when everything in me went to my core, when peripherals weren't needed to survive in the moment. You can really help me. Disbelief made the words feel like blades that promise of safety. Too fragile for trembling hands. Like all I have to do is tell you, and you can really help me. You can keep me safe and he won't be able to get me. She waited until I looked at her before she answered. Her eyes were hazel, lashes fat with tears. Yes, love, she said. We can keep you safe. Thank you.
Whoa. Gosh, you get us every time, Kathy. That was amazing. Big hand, please, for Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that was brilliant. Thank you so much. Okay. Then we have the, sorry, I have to just take a drink of water there.
Yeah.
Sorry. You do have the knack to grab people, Kathy. So everybody, a big breath, and now something really amazing. We're going to hear from Derek, and Derek Dohren has been performing his poetry on the Southwest spoken word circuit for over 2 years now. He draws inspiration from the mundane, delights in the ridiculous, and positively revels in the surreal to produce striking vignettes of what normal people may refer to as modern life, often using the cover of humour to provide sobering insights. His day job as a bus driver does nothing but feed into this madness. His first poetry collection, Everything Rhymes with Orange, was published in 2019 by Black Eyes to much acclaim and is available via the usual sources. His second collection is currently in process at Black Eyes, so watch this space. We're so pleased to have Derek Dohren with us. Please, a really big round of applause for Derek Dohren.
I'm dying, and so are you. I need to move this from a knowing to a feeling, from my brain to my heart. Health scare, death stir, born, dead, resurrected, born again, dead again, reincarnated. You're living, you're dying, and so am I. Why is it only when a doctor with a clipboard takes me into that side room and tells me I've got just 6 months left, perhaps 9 if the treatment kicks in, that the penny will properly drop? Of course, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. And if you live in the Forest of Dean, so could you too, as I'll be coming through on the number 22. And I'm not the best bus driver in the world, if truth be told. I have a checkered career at careering off the road. So best stay at home then, though you're more likely to meet grief there than if you're out on the street, in which case you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Basically, just damned. Statistically speaking, if this poem has ever been published, you're reading this long after I've perished. And if it's any sort of comfort, I was pretty shit at most things in life. And if I can do death, then you can do it too. It's not the be-all and end-all you think it is. Any fool can do it. Even the least amongst us will achieve it. I'll munch my heavenly popcorn as I sit and wait with you if you want me to, because I'm an old hand at this. Yeah, I'm an old hand at this. I went and turned a funny hue. Last time the Grim Reaper came a-reaping. Deader than John Cleese's Norwegian blue. Not pining for the fjords, not sleeping. But I suppose I'm getting ahead of myself at the time of writing. I'm not quite dead yet, just dying. And so are you. I need to move this from a knowing to a feeling, from my brain to my heart. Health scare, death stare. Born, dead, resurrected. Born again, dead again. Reincarnated. You're living, you're dying. And so am I. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Can I just say, first of all, thank you, Josephine and Peter, for inviting me to do this gig tonight. It's been absolutely outstanding. The open mic just blown me away. The variety and the quality. That hour and a half gone by in about 10 minutes. You know, it was absolutely amazing. And I'm sorry to kind of bring the atmosphere down a little there with that opening poem. 2020's been a grim year, perhaps more so for me. At some point earlier in the year, in March, April, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I was told I needed an emergency operation. And just at the time, the country was going into lockdown, so I went through a period of real darkness. And fortunately, the NHS came through for me, and I had treatment, and I'm now recovering fine. But that poem is a snapshot of where I was at the time. I was in a very dark place. I imagined that I was about to die. Well, the prognosis was a lot better in the end. But I guess the lesson really for me was that it's something that we all need to face, you know, and maybe we should talk about more, you know. Anyway. Moving on. This is a more recent poem. It's called The Garden of Eden. I was moved to tears by news of your untimely life. I remember the day we strolled hand in hand through Elgar country or somewhere, and I pointed out the tree canopies and their crown shyness. Seasonal fluctuations, you said. Enigma variations, I said. A lone oak sowing its seeds. Your steadfast love, O Lord, extends to the heavens. But even the Garden of Eden has weeds. I asked a simple question, inviting a single sentenced reply. But instead, you launched into a lecture on the properties of yttrium or something. And I just nodded along, in case I nodded off. Tree huggers at 1 o'clock, you said. The ladyboys of Bangkok, I said. A lone oak holding on to its leaves. The present is always the best time to be alive. But even the Garden of Eden has weeds. Thank you.
Wow.
I think I don't specifically sit down to try and write about a particular subject, but I think the events of this year have kind of given my recent poems a kind of a darker flavour. And I kind of like that. I like things coming through as undercurrents. This one is another new one. It's called 11. Tossed from the Tower of Babel in statuesque silence, I lay there unobserved in splendid splendour, a flown-out reverie, &_*.com. Impressing the ladies with my street magic, it seems there are some things I can do that God can't. I don't require anyone on their knees praising me for all eternity, for example. But I was thinking more about failing and lying and coming in at number 11 in someone's all-time top 10 list. Lost at the Battle of Culloden, not a hint of motion. I lay there unobserved in flagrant vagrancy, a grown-out topiary, _***.com. The prophetic Messiah, a lingering trespasser. It seems there are some things I can do that God can't. I don't require anyone on their knees confessing to me their guilt, for example. But I was thinking more about sinning and dying and coming in at number 11 in someone's all-time top 10 list. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, let's lighten things up a little. Who fancies a bit of Dick? Put your hand up.
A bit of what? Bick?
Clyde, put your hand down.
Are you talking about pen?
I should explain. This is about that one person who I'm sure we all know who turns everything you say into innuendo. This specifically in my case, it's a guy who was my boss back in the 1980s, a Scotsman. And you just couldn't have a conversation with the guy. You couldn't use simple words like hard or soft or long, because it would all be, missus, and that's what the actress said to the bishop and all that sort of stuff. And in the end, you just couldn't communicate with the guy. So he's my inspiration for this poem. And the protagonist of the poem is called Dick. What else would he be called? Okay. Okay, it's only a short one. As the actress said to the bishop. You see, once you start, you can't stop. As the bishop said to the actress, yeah. Okay. Dick plies his trade al fresco, taking a job at the local Tesco, shunting discarded supermarket trolleys, seeking opportunities to get his jollies. He follows the racing from Uttoxeter because he likes a bet and a beer. But in the 345, his horse, double entendre, is bringing up the rear. Missus, that's a whopper. He's indulging in risque chit-chat with the lady who's a mystery shopper. He enjoys a round of innuendo bingo with that redhead who drives the Renault Twingo. And he loves a bit of saucy banter with her, the one in the Fiat Panda. But the drinks will flow tonight for Dick. For him, there'll be joy unconfined. Because in the 345, his horse, double entendre, has only come from behind. Mrs. Titty ye not, he's indulging in ribble dialogue with the ladies in the parking lot. Thank you.
Very good.
Hello.
Thank you. As Josephine kindly mentioned, my debut poetry collection, Everything Rhymes with Orange, came out last year. And I'm very happy with it. The publishers did a fantastic job. And I'd like to read a couple of poems from it. The first one I'm reading simply because it's a favourite of mine, okay? And this one's called Helena. I know this is really weird, right? But my friend Helena's a Cypriot. And every piece of hard skin I peel off my feet comes off in the shape of cypress. Seriously, what are the odds? But she's unimpressed with my collection. She doesn't see the synchronicity. She wants me to go to a party with her, but I told her I'm a hermit. She said she thought all hermits lived in caves or mountains and remote places. I said they did, but the really smart ones lived in cities. And I did that nose-tapping thing like this. And she said, so are you coming to this party or what? Helena watches a lot of telly. She loves EastEnders. She says it makes her feel good about her life. I said EastEnders is not real. And she said nothing's real. Though she added that she once saw Jesus' face in a piece of toast. And to be honest, that kind of killed the conversation. She loves watching people who are terrible at things they believe they're good at. She said it's a guilty pleasure, like those deluded X Factor auditionees, or those arrogant twats on The Apprentice. And then she added, and like you with your poems. I said, I know, right. And she said, oh, lighten up for fuck's sake, I'm only joking. She says I'm not a boyfriend or anything, we're just mates, okay? She's obsessed with this other bloke who always walks past the window. I said, be careful, because he looks a bit strange. As I peeled off another cypress-shaped piece of hard skin from my foot. Seriously, dude, what are the fucking odds? Thank you very much. This one is called Did We Ever? Did you ever read that letter I never wrote? I wonder if you ever will or if you won't. After not writing it, I never sent it to you. You never knew what I didn't go through. I didn't feel the pain I never expressed. There is no heaviness I never got off my chest. Did I never believe that you ever existed? You wonder if I ever did or if I didn't. After not being there, you never fell apart. I never knew I didn't break your heart. You didn't lose the time you never laid aside. There is no heaviness you never got to hide. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Okay, returning to more recent poetry. This one is called Kimberly. Kimberly, it's not aimed at you, okay? Special K, okay? I have to say that before I read it. Here we go. You're a makeshift, misfit, ship-shape shake, a shape-shifting polystyrene paperweight. You only accept that for which you see evidence. Yet everybody knows the best way to get a tourist to do something is to cuddle them and offer them a snack. Please leave me your comments in the box provided. I hear thunderclaps, though there's no hint of any rain, just a taste of sweet intoxication as you slowly go insane. But life's complications have simplified me. I'm happiest now with a mug of dandelion tea. You're a dumbstruck junkie, punch-drunk punk, a dump-trucking inflatable clusterfuck. You only accept that for which you see evidence, yet you believe there is no God, even though there is no evidence of God's non-existence. Please stay on the line. Your call is important to me. You're a predicament predicted in an episode of The Simpsons from 1993, and by a Nostradamus quatrain that only made sense to me when I sat and viewed it retrospectively. Thank you. Thank you. My bus driving is a huge source of material for me. This next poem is a collection of real life, honestly true things that have happened to me when I've been driving my bus through the Forest of Dean. I will concede that not all of these things happened on the same day. This is called Wasp in My Cockpit. There's a feisty wasp in my cockpit. It flew in through a barely open window, but is unable to find its way out, even though the window is now fully open. A passenger gets on at Mitchell Dean and alerts me to a woman over the road who is trying to get rid of a crow that's been following her all morning. Do you know my mate Bob? He asks. He drives a bus in Cornwall. I toy with telling him I know Bob, but instead I tell him I don't. He seems disappointed. Well, he works for Stagecoach, he adds. I glance at the woman over the road. She does indeed seem to be receiving unwanted attention from a crow and is trying to shoo it away. And I think, what would Jesus do? My mind drifts to that weird creature I saw wriggling and writhing on the surface of a pond in Newent. I laugh and I wonder what the hell is going through the crow's mind. I head for Gloucester, 1,000 concerns now rattling my brain. Not least of them is the wasp, but also a very real dread that on my break I'll get caught up in one of those awful flash mob things. It's only a matter of time. Already this year I've been called Martin by a stranger in a coffee shop, and I've demolished a bus shelter, the one that's right outside my flat. Or rather, the one that used to be right outside my flat until the council scooped it up and took it away. I spoke at length to a therapist about it all and spent 40 minutes listening to his woes. What a waste of my fucking time that was. What would Jesus have done? He'd have disappeared for 3 days and pretended he was dead, but I don't have the requisite skills. At Gloucester, the feisty wasp alighted. Thankfully, there was no flash mob, so things were seriously looking up. Later that day, I saw an old man walking up Wintergate Road with a spring in his step, enjoying the summer evening in the autumn of his life. Too many odd things like that happen, and I think I've experienced enough synchronicities to suggest that Cornwall would be a great place to visit. If I go, I bet I'll bump into Bob, and he'll ask me if I've ever driven through Mitcheldean, as there's a woman there who gets followed by a crow. What would Jesus do? Well, if I had his way with words, I'd relate to Bob a profound parable involving strange creatures that wriggle and writhe on the surfaces of ponds in Newent. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
What would Jesus do?
So, as has been mentioned earlier on tonight, Jonathan Muirhead was taken from us a few weeks ago. Unbelievably sad. He was such a nice guy, full of positive things and words for people. I remember an outrageous compliment he paid me one night when I'd just been knocked out of a slam tournament and I was feeling sorry for myself. And the power of encouraging words, but the power of words. Jonathan was fully aware of that, and I never heard him say anything negative to anyone. The day before he died, he posted this poem on the GPS Facebook page, and he marked it as a draft copy. He's probably, if he's looking down now, he's probably thinking, "Oh God, don't read that. It's not, it's not finished. It's rubbish." But I think it's brilliant because it tells me he kept this positivity in his life right to the end, and to me, that's a life well lived. But he called this poem "Preacher." The sign I see, dripping with the moisture of rain, and perhaps also tears outside of the church, somehow a virginal white discoloured by time, temperance, and above all by man, passing by every day, yet still it's here. There will be no act of public worship here today, and yet there are plenty that I can see in the streets all around, life being breathed slowly back into a city which has rhythm in its bones and acid on its tongue as it laughs in defiance and agrees in sympathy with the world and the situation it's in. Yet still the sign stares back at me from outside a church that hasn't heard voices of Christians for months, yet feels their souls and feeds their minds. Every day I smile and I walk on again as around me I see young lovers kissing with abandon, and children playing with parents, all in different mindsets, all here and yet in their own worlds. A foot in each, a heart in both. The sign still stands, ignored by all but me, and I smile as I think just how both sets give the lie to it. Thank you very much, Jonathan. And thank you all for listening. Stay safe, and I think the message from that poem is we've got to be sensible and do what we need to do while this virus is still out there, but we've also got to get on with living our lives. So I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
That was fabulous, Derek. Absolutely fabulous. I can't thank you enough. And thank you for reading that poem, Jonathan. This whole evening has been a roller coaster of emotions for so many reasons, obviously for our loss of Jonathan, but also from these fabulous poets. I mean, you've given us such richness in the open mic. I can't believe it. Please, let's give an enormous hand to every open micer who's been on tonight. You were fabulous. And I just love all the different styles and all the different voices and all the different rhythms. This is richness beyond belief. Mm-hmm. And then to finish with Derek, and I just want to say something here. Peter and I are Black Eyes. You may not know Black Eyes Publishing. And Derek sent us his poems a few months ago, quite a few months ago. And unfortunately this year we've had several books already in the pipeline. And so it was a while till we got to him. And we were reading through this book, laughing like mad. Peter's laughing like mad. And he suddenly got to that first poem. And we were shell-shocked because we thought that we hadn't picked this book up and gone through it all the way. And God, we thought, you can imagine. We had to text him quickly to say, are you all right?
I don't really like that poem much now, but for me, it was written by me. It was part of my life this year, so I just wanted to honour it by reading.
It's important, Derek.
Yeah, it marked a point in my life, and hopefully I've moved on from it. But you know, it deserves to be acknowledged. So.
It does, and it's useful to all of us to realise, you know, we're all dying.
I think it will be a brilliant centerpiece to that book.
Yeah.
Because you read and you're laughing, then suddenly you're pulled up, and then you've got the second half almost.
So this book is being put together as we speak, and we're hoping maybe we'll be out later this year, so you may be able to hear more of Derek Dohren in the very near future.
The other one is already out.
Yeah, but the other one is already out and on Amazon and all the different bookshops, so please look for it. Please, another enormous welcome. Clap for Derek Dohren.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, I think we've come to the end. We have another Crafty Crows on the 7th of September. Am I right, Peter?
October,
that would help. Sorry, I've got a bit to pieces here. Right, 7th of October, when we will have Chloe Jacquet. And that is going to be fabulous because she is about to launch her book on the 22nd of September too. Take It By the Line. You may have seen it on Facebook and on Twitter. And that is going to be a marvellous collection as well. So we have all these fabulous poets around us, and it's absolutely wonderful to celebrate spoken word this way. And I don't think there are any other. Peter, you're the one with the clipboard. Is there anything I've forgotten?
That's fine.
That's everything.
Give them the date and Chloe Jacquet. You could say, oh yeah, Chloe's got a book out. Take It By the Line. You said that, yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm quite poleaxed by the whole evening. I think it's been wonderful, and I can't thank you all enough for coming and giving us your fabulous words. And that's it for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Josephine. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do hope we see you all here next month. It would be great. And we will have another roller coaster, I promise you, of emotion. Laughing and crying tears.
You could mention Chloe's launch.
I did, yes, sorry. We could put this up in the chat, Peter. The Chloe's launch is on the 22nd of September. It's Tuesday the 22nd of September at 7:30. And she is, besides just herself, obviously, doing a feature from the book. There will be Melanie Branton, and there will be Johnny Fluffypunk. So
another brilliant one. Yeah.
Another brilliant one. So it's going to be a brilliant night, and it will be hosted by me and Chloe together. So I'm really looking forward to that. And anything else, Peter? I think that's probably everything. But I thank you again. And I'm amazed. I'm blown away by all your talent. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
For having us.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
I'd usually say safe journey, but of course you're all at home, so that's all right.
I don't know. There's a nasty step at the bottom.
But as Derek said, stay safe, everybody. Whatever people think and feel, I think you just need to make sure that you're as safe as you can be without necessarily giving up your life. But stay safe for yourselves and everybody else. Brilliant.
Thank you very much, Josephine, for doing this.
You're welcome. I'm really pleased to meet you, Michael. I hope you'll come again next month. Be brilliant. Thank you.
Very good.
And can I just give a plug to Beehive as well?
Oh yes, carry on, because it's yeah.
We've got several events coming up. The next one is next Friday, the 18th, which is obviously in memory of Jonathan as well. And Kathy will be headlining, and I'm really looking forward to that because, as you've seen tonight, Kathy is an absolutely amazing performer.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes of raw emotion.
I don't know. We're going to be absolutely dry.
Bring tissues.
Yes, I've got the tissue already.
And tickets are free, available through Eventbrite. So if you go to the Beehive page, or add me as a friend if I'm not already, and you can see all the details on there, and it's one not to be missed. And also on October the 6th, which is the October the 6th, which is Tuesday, we've got a comedy special with myself, Nick, the co-host of the Beehive, Jeff Cottrell from Canada, who's absolutely amazing, and Robert Garnham, who is
also funny.
Robert is my comedy hero. Robert is amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. That will be another 3 nights. So.
Comic timing, isn't he? Master of timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great favourite of mine. He's just, is
Professor of Whimsy.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what he calls himself.
I don't know if anybody else has ever thought about this. I've always thought I'd like to go through life with a little angel Robert Garnham on one shoulder and a Melanie Branton on the other.
If you do a T-shirt, you might be able to sell it.
Well, they're good mates, those two. They might arrange it for you.
Yeah. Actually, that does, Clive, you've just said something. We are also going towards the ticketed event. This is because several people, including Clive, have had Zoom bombing happen during events. It's a very sad thing, but I think we have to go down the free ticketed event. So next month, when you look, you will probably see, I'm not sure which one we're going to use yet, but you will see, like Clive, zero cost ticket, and this is just to safeguard us all, and because I want to tweet more of what the GPS is doing, but whenever we put Zoom links out on Twitter, it comes right at the top. It's so obvious, it's dangerous. So the ticket is the way forward, I'm afraid.
Wait, do we need a ticket for the 18th then, Clive?
Yes, you do. The link is on the event page on Facebook.
I tried to get one earlier, but then I've got to change my. Apparently, I've got to change my Eventbrite password. So.
I'm sure you've got one, Peter. You're down on the list of having already got one.
I'm down, am I? Because I tried to get one, but then it said I needed to change my password. So I don't know if I.
Oh.
Hang on, let's just check the list. I'm sure I saw your name on there. You probably saw me as trying to get logged on and get a ticket, but yeah, you've definitely got yourself a ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant.
I put down to read, Clive, but I didn't realise I needed a ticket, so I'll get a ticket.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I need to do. I have to, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
the slam this week, Clive? Is there a slam this week or not? No, the next slam, it's always the first Friday of the month. So the next one will be the 2nd of October.
Okay.
Cool. And entries are still open. Open even.
I couldn't make it to I couldn't make it to the last one, so.
No, it was a bit special. The last one was like it was.
How many more are there, Clive, before the end?
It's one a month, so we've got October and November, and then we've got the grand final in December the 6th, which is a Sunday. And already the lineup for that is just awesome.
Amazing.
It's mind blowing. It is. It's mind blowing. I know it's easy for me to say because it's our event, but it's going to be one of the spoken word events of the year because, you know, we've called it the UK Online Slam Championship, and that's exactly what it is. You know, I mean, you should see some of the names that have entered for next month.
Got a trophy. What's that?
Well,
Josephine?
this is very sad for me because we last year had Squawkers Tag Poetry Slam, which is one of a kind. There's never been another. And so this trophy was won by Chloe, and she would normally be handing it back now for our next Poetry Tag Slam. But of course, it's not going to happen because it's a tag slam. You've actually got to touch somebody before you
It was
carry
great
on.
fun as well. I really enjoyed
It was great fun. And hopefully next year we might get it back.
Yeah,
That would be lovely.
I think we've all had that, been there this year. I was supposed to have had a slam at Fringe this year up in Buxton, and I had to cancel that. I mean, it cost me a few quid as well, but because of all this. But
yeah, well, we just got to get. I look at it. You just got to get through this and come out the other side, and there will be another side. How long we don't know, but we'll come out the other side and back to normal life. But we want to keep this because this is unique too. So I think we'll have a very rich poetry life at the end of it.
Yeah.
Lockdown has created this sort of opportunity, and there are a lot of people now that are doing poetry all over the world that they wouldn't have dreamed of doing before.
That's right, yeah.
That's a plus.
That is a big
We just
plus.
need both.
And by the way, Derek, you were fabulous because I know you were worried about performing on Zoom, but you shouldn't be. It was brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, I've not done a lot of Zoom stuff, but as you say, Peter, that the fact that the people from America here and Australia, I mean, it's fabulous. It's, you know, you've got to look at the positives.
Well, I mean, it's typical that our event on next Friday, we put the event page up yesterday, and the first 6 tickets went to people in 6 different countries.
Wow.
There was Australia, America, Canada, England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. The first 6 tickets went like that. It was awesome.
Yes, it's very good. So that was certainly a roller coaster. But with you, Kathy, and Special K, and then Catrice, and then we went over to David Lewis, and then we had Clive in between for the lows.
I thought he was the high point. I thought that was.
It's all right. He got
understood his poetry. Well,
yeah, no, it's not that. I tell you, he got me a couple of months ago doing a poem. He froze in the middle of it, and I got worried that Zoom had frozen, and of course it hadn't. So he really got me, and I thought I'm going to get him back one day.
I've got this pre-recorded thing with my voice like all breaking up and echoey, and I just sat there like this and it's going.
You really shouldn't tell people, Clive, because what if they haven't seen it and then you go do it? Now you're like ruining it for them.
It's infamous now.
Yeah, it's well known now.
I'm glad you've revealed that the Queen swears like a trooper.
It's like
that's useful to know.
Yeah.
I've never heard a poem so honouring and obsequious to the Queen as that one.
Oh, I love the Queen, mate. Yeah, I love the Queen. I'm a real royalist.
Yes.
We all secretly suspected it.
And Simon Armitage, you brought him to life.
Yeah, that was a very good impression, actually. Hello. Boy born in York.
I shouldn't say anything. My wife went to school with him.
I think he's a fantastic poet. I do. I mean,
now you say. I've already sent him a message. You want to get that Clive Anderson?
Clive Anderson.
Clive Anderson.
Sorry. Your alter ego.
But he's always been a favourite of mine. I mean, he did have that spell about probably 4 or 5 years ago when all his stuff was going. Yeah, I'm like, okay, he's getting a bit pretentious now, you know. But yeah, I've always loved his stuff. But I've watched him on YouTube, and there's not a lot of life in his performances, shall we say?
Yeah, the only time that really got me was he did a poem which was in binary or in it was completely unintelligible. It was just da 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 da. I don't know what he was.
Morse code.
Yeah,
sounds like one of Clive's.
Perhaps he was taking off Clive and he didn't realise.
Yeah, that was his impression of me.
Clive an idea now. A Morse code poem.
Yeah.
Oh no. No, we can't do a third book yet, Derek.
Semaphore.
Waving.
You'd be flagging by the end of that, wouldn't you?
Hey, Clive, next month, can we have a poem on Acock's Green?
A poem on Acock's Green?
Yeah.
I used to live almost in Acock's Green.
Yeah, my head office used to be in Acock's Green.
Yeah. Yeah, my last house in Birmingham was.
Yeah,
like,
the poor girls in England were always getting jokes.
Take care. Thank you so much, Derek. Brilliant.
Pleasure.
Great shit, Derek.
Speaking to you soon.
So clever.
Thank you, Derek. It's nice to see you virtually this time.
Thank you. It's great to see you all.
Yeah. Great to
Join
see
us
you.
next month if you can. On the 7th.
Catch you soon. He's gone.
You definitely need to record an album, Clive.
Sorry, Kathy?
No, I was just going to say it was amazing. That was the first time I had heard him. I'm so glad.
Oh, he is amazing.
He's brilliant, Derek. I mean, he's got so many great poems.
I realised I'd seen him in Exeter a couple of times, actually. So, does he get down? I'm sure he gets down.
Well, he's been, as I say, because he's been so poorly this year and with lockdown, he hasn't done.
No, not this year, but on previously I've seen
yeah,
him.
yeah, he's got about.
Yeah.
He's fabulous. It's really very good.
I was hoping he'd do Isabel. I love that poem.
Oh, I was almost going to ask him if he hadn't done. Obviously, he did Jonathan's poem, and I wasn't going to say anything after that. But if that hadn't been the case, I was going to make him do Isabel.
Yeah, and Kathy, I used to be the lightning rod for my father. And I was in the Air Force, and when I go home, I used to get hit even when I was 20, you know.
Yeah.
So when you say it's 20, I thought,
yeah.
You know,
Thank
it's just
you for that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm 6'2". He was 6'5". So.
Wow. It's incredible impact, isn't it? It's incredible that even at 47 and older, we're still recovering, you know.
Yeah, well, I left home at 16 to get away. I joined the Air Force to get away. Yeah. And, yeah. And you'll carry it with him. I mean, that's the thing. He's dead, but I still have him in my head. He's the critic in my head, you know. I hear his voice and I see his face.
Here with mine.
Yeah, white noise. It's like white noise. It is.
Yeah.
That's what's been it's been really beautiful over Zoom being on lockdown, because I have all these other voices that are coming in and they're drowning out his. They're definitely dumping him down. You know, it's been amazing. It really has been. So thank you all for all your voices. It's incredible.
I never had this sort of.
I've got a phone call coming in, so I'll say goodbye. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. See you next time, hopefully.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Your poem was very moving, Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy, I don't know whether it helps, and I've never been through the abuse, the physical abuse that you went through, but I had a very controlling mother, and I always had her voice in my head constantly, because she would be downgrading me.
That's
and
worse.
I had counselling for a while, and this woman suggested that I pick, when I hear her, I literally pick her up. Imagine her tiny with her legs kicking in the air, screaming away at me. And then I would just hold her and steady her further and further and further and further away and drop her. And it didn't work the first time, but each time I just get hold of her, she'd be kicking and screaming, and I just throw her away.
I remember, I'm a counsellor myself, Josephine, and I remember whenever I was going through therapy myself, and someone said to me, just imagine all his words falling on the floor and just pick up whatever you can use and leave all the rest there. Yeah. And I thought that was lovely. But one of the things that's been life-changing for me, when I did leave my dad's, I was dysfunctional in every sense. I was as destructive as he was, and I have to admit that and own that. And so me looking back on it now on a good day, as I say, I can sort of approach it with compassion and say, I wonder what he went through to cause him to be so destructive. And I've only been able to change through people who have come in and loved me hard and been compassionate to me. So I just wonder who he could have been if people had been compassionate to him. So on a good day, I can approach it with compassion, and that helps. But on a bad day, yeah, it's not so good.
That's true.
But you just do what you can, and you manage each day as it comes. Yeah.
Well, you're writing fabulous stuff from it, if that's any consolation. Wonderful.
It made me cry anyway.
Yeah, it makes me cry too, Trevor.
Still got red eyes.
Oh dear.
Thank you guys, and thank you, because I didn't expect to perform tonight at all, so thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so glad you did, and I do hope you'll come again.
I will, definitely. Lovely gift at the end of the day. Listen, guys, I'm going to head off. You take care.
Okay, and you.
See you soon.
Take care. Bye. See you soon, Clive. Bye, lads. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm going to head off too. I've got to go.
Brilliant. Thank you, Special K. I saw your little boy earlier giving him a hug.
Yes.
Doing well.
Yes. All right.
I'm going to head off.
See you soon.
Head off. I'll record my new album, Gerald Curl sings Simon Armitage. I'm doing with Bob Dylan with mate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm hoping to actually be on holiday on 7th, so I say now that I won't be.
Okay, that's a shame. Well, hopefully
I like to go now. I thought it was great. I loved it.
They're like buses. Another one will be along.
Oh, I'm really missing buses because I haven't read any. I nearly read one that I wrote about a guy at the back of a bus, which is in my book. They call it sod blasting when they're playing like really heavy music. But he was playing like kind of music out of kind of like Middle Eastern music. I've got but buses, I think, are fantastic. You know,
they are.
I feel sorry for people who don't have the inspiration of going to buses. And Fiona's sitting here; she loved it too. My wife. They're great. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
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 And thanks for coming, Catrice. It was lovely having you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me be part of this. I'm a first timer, and this group is great. This was a joy. I want to come back.
Anna Saunders always says that I straddle, because I love both the page and the performance poetry, because to me both are rich, and I can't make a decision which is better because they're both fabulous. And tonight really proves that. We went from performance through to something really, and then yourself and other people, really strong words, and it's fabulous stuff. And that's what I like. Yeah, hope we manage. So yeah, spread the word. If you know anybody else who likes that kind of mix, tell them to come along.
I sure will. Can you remind me what day of the month? Well, it's a Wednesday, but which Wednesday, first or second? I forget.
For what?
That you do these?
Oh no, ours is the first Wednesday of the month from now on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. the first Wednesday. We've moved it because we've been trying to avoid Ubi Hive.
And their plethora of events.
They're doing so much stuff.
We're taking over the world.
I know.
To, anyway.
So we were looking for a slot, and if you ever do anything on the first Wednesday of the month now, Clive, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I'll be on the naughty step.
Well, it has been a pleasure meeting everyone. I'm going to head off. Trevor, I'm going to try to attend that event because it sounds amazing, and I love the fact that you read. And I've done that myself, and it's nice to meet someone who will do that, read through the lyrics as a poem, and then show how the poem is truly song, it's music.
I've got another one which I might do next time, so let's see. A bit longer, it might breach